Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel, thank you. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Perfect World based on novel. So let's start. Where is Un11? Get her out here. Someone risks life and limb for your damn ass, escorting you back. Where are you? Get the fuck out here and say something. Kong Chioji roared. Even though he was in human form, a collection of feathers appeared above his head, standing up straight one after another. 5-colored radiance shone brilliantly, illuminating this enormous palace. Many people's expression changed. He was still causing chaos here. When was this going to end, Un11? Where are you? Don't tell me that they locked you up too, or you don't even dare show your face. Second Baldy roared. A celestial clan heavenly deity spoke. Mists curled about him. A powerful aura pressed down. He looked at Second Baldy and said, "Little Dao friend, why are you doing this?" His words weren't many, but it was extremely dignified. His intention was clear, informing him that this was the Celestial Clan's palace, a place that one could not create a disturbance in. This was a type of warning, "Little Dao friend, it is better if you sit down." Another heavenly deity spoke, "I am here for an explanation. Why did you all treat my Dao brother like this? What did he do wrong? You all kick your benefactor in the teeth like this. Is there still heavenly reasoning in this world?" Second Baldy roared. He walked up and laid Shahao down on a praying mat. He asked for a holy pill from his clansman, and helped Shahao treat his injuries. He was absolutely furious. He became my clan's prisoner, so he naturally committed a great crime. We can discuss these matters in the future. Heavenly deity Chi-Tuo spoke, not wishing to stay on this topic. It was because they were truly groundless. He looked towards Peacock Divine Lord and said, "Senior, this is Huang. What do you think? Can you sense the Lightning Emperor's aura?" He wanted to bring Shahao away after the Peacock Divine Lord looked at him. They couldn't continue like this, because they felt that the gaze of the Peacock Clan's Lord was become a bit strange. "This child has some karma with me, so I wish to keep his life." The Peacock Divine Lord spoke. His voice carried a type of great changes, and even more a type of dignity. "His teacher has showed me kindness." Peacock Divine Lord replied, "What?" The great heavenly deities were shocked. A few true deities almost jumped. What kind of figure was this, to be able to show the Peacock Clan's Divine Lord kindness? This was a bit frightening. "Senior, you are joking, right? He came from the lower realm, a human race country's youth. How can his teacher have bestowed kindness onto your distinguished self from the higher realms?" Heavenly deity Chi-Tuo asked. His face was extremely overcast. "Does it seem to you like I am joking?" The Peacock Divine Lord asked indifferently. Chi-Tuo immediately shivered inwardly, not even daring to utter another word. As a result, the atmosphere of the great palace became a bit tense. This was the Celestial Clan's important place, but with such a supreme giant here, a suffocating pressure began to fill this palace. There was no way the Celestial Clan would hand over Shahao, but how were they supposed to refuse the Peacock Divine Lord? They secretly looked at each other. Perhaps they could only invite out the old Celestial. That existence is a willow tree. You all should know about it. At this time, the Peacock Divine Lord spoke again. He didn't want to pressure others through power and enter a deadlock situation with the Celestial Clan. It's that existence. The great heavenly deities all revealed looks of shock when they heard the Peacock Clan's Divine Lord. They released a pent-up breath inwardly. They had heard of the lower realms matters, always feeling that the Willow deity would undoubtedly die after slaughtering into that bone gate, never to appear again. It was because since the ancient times, not a single creature that entered those bone gates ever returned alive. This child and me truly have a bit of relationship. The Peacock Divine Lord already spoke so far. His intention to defend Shahao was extremely clear. When the Peacock Clan's Clan Lord opened his mouth, normally, true deities didn't have the qualifications to interject. He coldly swept his eyes out, making many people's minds sink. Even the Celestial Clan's great heavenly deities' expressions were ugly. It wasn't easy to issue any blame. "Senior, this person we truly cannot let go." After some hesitation, heavenly deity Chi-Tuo spoke. This was a decision that he and the other great heavenly deities came to. They couldn't release Shahao just because the other party was exerting pressure. No matter which side they considered it from, they couldn't allow this to happen. This youth had precious techniques and immortal scriptures on him. His existence was priceless, all of them able to become sect-protecting divine techniques. It could make a sect improve greatly, granting them glory throughout the ages. The other reason was that this youth's natural talents were terrifying. Now that they already offended him, if they let him go, he might become a disaster in the future. If geniuses were not allowed to grow up, then they would not become anything. However, if he was given a chance, once he grew up, the results would be difficult to predict. I ask everyone to reconsider. Peacock Divine Lord spoke. Without that willow tree, perhaps he wouldn't be here today. That was why he had to protect this youth at all costs. I apologize, Senior. We truly cannot agree. Even though the celestial clan's great heavenly deities were nervous, they still refused. Since they had an alliance relationship, even if the other party was being aggressive, they still couldn't yield. What if I forcefully bring him away? When Peacock Divine Lord's eyes opened and closed, 5 multicolored lights swirled. A powerful aura surged around his body. It was incredibly terrifying. Dao brother, do not go too far. Right at that moment, an aged voice sounded, transmitting into the ancient palace. At the same time, an old shadow appeared, one that was leaning on crutches. This person was all skin and bones. There was a pair of bull horns on his head. His skin was withered up like a skeleton, his eye socket sunken in. He gave off a bottomless feeling, as if one's soul would be sucked away. Senior. Celestial clan's heavenly deities got up together, expressing looks of happiness. This was the Celestial clan's Tao protector, an existence of the same generation as the old Celestial. Back then, if not for the 6 great Celestials rising up, this person might have become this clan's guardian deity. Are you threatening us all? Peacock Divine Lord said, there is no need for threats. I am just telling you the truth. What I am doing today can also be considered saving you all. If that willow tree appears again and learned that you all killed its disciple, the Celestial clan will definitely be wiped out from existence. At this moment, he took action. Chaotic mists emerged from the 5 multicolored light. It was shocking to the extreme. That Tao protector also used his most powerful divine ability, but with a WA sound, he coughed out blood and backed up in retreat. Meanwhile, one of the bull horns on the Tao protector's head was snapped. It fell onto the ground with a dong sound. What? Celestial clan's heavenly deities were shocked. The battle had just begun, but the Tao protector was already defeated. Blood trickled out from the elder's mouth. He couldn't stand still. You are already old. Peacock Divine Lord only had these words for him. Divine Lord is unrivaled. Second Baldy was excited, crying out loudly. He supported Shahao while standing to the side. He felt incredibly refreshed, finally venting out a bit of his resentment. Peacock Divine Lord only spoke a single line, saying that he was already old. This made the Tao protector's chest rise and fall intensely, feeling unconvinced and furious. Beauties of the past say they are past their prime, yet they do not allow heroes to see old age. Peacock Divine Lord said softly. This was a type of realization, as well as a type of helplessness. He thought about how this day would come for him as well. It was because when one reached their cultivation realm, they finally understood that no matter how powerful one became, there would still be a day when they would disappear. It was to the extent where even the vicious 10 couldn't avoid this. They perhaps reached the insurmountable peak, but they still reached the end of the line, dying in meditation along the endless stream of time. He suspected that the Lightning Emperor, Kuan Peng, and the others were all delivered a heavy blow by time as well, ultimately passing away, no longer existing in this world. At this moment, Kong Chioji was excited. Even though he was in human form, part of his original form was still revealed. His tail feathers were displayed, the 5-colored feathers shining brilliantly here. As for the Celestial clan, their expressions became ugly one after another. Meanwhile, their hearts all stirred greatly. The Peacock Divine Lord was too terrifying, actually severely wounding their Tao protector, as soon as they met. At this moment, everyone raised their heads. No matter how far away they were all shaken up inside. It was because someone had opened up the great chaotic formation the 6 great celestials laid during the archaic era. A boundless pressure appeared. Primal chaos pervaded the air, descending from above and surrounding the city. Things had now become extremely serious. Right now, forget about the people here, even ordinary celestial race cultivators shivered inwardly, feeling a wave of fear inside. This concerned the fate of the clan. The expressions of the celestial clan's heavenly deities were snow white. They were greatly shaken up inside. They didn't wish for this type of situation to happen. They were allied with the Peacock clan. If they had a falling out now, the results would be unimaginable. They originally wanted to use the Tao Protector as intimidation, but how could they have expected that the Peacock Divine Lord stood at the peak and was impossible to defeat? In reality, Peacock Divine Lord was already prepared to unleash a bloodbath. He produced a sect-protecting supreme treasure to connect heaven and earth, destroying this place. Peacock, do you feel that your actions are worth it? For the sake of a youth, you are going to declare war against my clan. The old celestial spoke. I wish to protect his life. Peacock Divine Lord calmly spoke. The old celestial wanted to say something, but then his expression changed. He disappeared from his original location. War Emperor, you arrived. He rushed into the heavens, gazing 100,000 li outwards. He was vigorous like a true dragon, blood energy surging. Compared to that Tao Protector, he simply looked like he was at the prime of his life, powerful to an unfathomable degree. Soon after, he disappeared again. There was no sound, his figure vanishing into the void. It was unknown whether or not he exited the city. City of Heaven recovered its peace. The great palace calmed down, reporting, Underworld Lord has arrived, wishing to pay my City of Heaven a visit. Suddenly, a true deity personally came to report this information, immediately shocking this great palace. Underworld Lord, that was definitely not a small matter. Now that the Deathlands had merged under one rule, becoming an extreme power that was practically an entire world of dead, the appearance of the Lord himself naturally left everyone shaken. In the end, several heavenly deities discussed among themselves. They asked the Tao Protector to guide Underworld Lord into the city. It was because the Celestial clan still had confidence. Even though a few giants were here, as long as the Great Chaotic Formation the Six Great Celestial laid was still here, they didn't fear any changes taking place. The main reason, however, was because the old Celestial had awoken. A black underworld vehicle appeared. It was powerful and mysterious, pulled by 9 archaic vicious beasts into the City of Heaven. Underworld mists pervaded the air, as if an underworld was being opened up here. I must ask everyone for forgiveness in arriving uninvited. Soon after, another voice sounded from outside the great palace. A true deity entered, reporting to the higher level figures here. Heaven Mending Sect Master came, wishing to pay the City of Heaven a visit. This time, not only was the Celestial clan's mind shaken, even Shahao revealed a look of shock. He definitely had his share of interactions with this great clan, only that it was limited to the lower realm. Now, the greatest sect master in the higher realms was actually going to appear. This gave him a strange feeling. Underworld Lord also revealed a look of surprise, not expecting this person to also hurry over. Great sleeves moved about. An individual that looked like he was about to sprout wings and ascend appeared. This was an elder who walked over, untainted by the flames of the secular world. He entered this grand ancient palace. Everyone was shocked, and no one dared to show contempt for him. If this person displayed his might, he might be able to sweep through dozens of provinces. He was definitely terrifying. The fame of Heaven Mending Sect in the higher realms was great, and their relationship with Immortal Palace was good. They often acted together, and few people dared to provoke them. Little friend, seeing as how you and my sect have karma, how about you follow me? Heaven Mending Sect's elder spoke with a faint smile. When these words were spoken, everyone's expressions changed. Shahao shook his head and said, I will only leave with Peacock Divine Lord. I do not come with ill will. Yu Chan's evaluation of you isn't low. I just wish to ask you a few questions, the elder smiled and said in a rather easygoing manner. However, no one dared to not attach importance to his words. What exactly did he mean? Was he being sarcastic, or did he truly wish to protect Shahao and bring him away? There was one thing that everyone believed, and it was that Heaven Mending Sect definitely cared about the Lightning Emperor's immortal scriptures as well. There was no way they would show kindness for no reason. Shahao's mind jumped. Was this person talking with him as if they were talking to Huang, or to Shahao? Then, Yin-Yang Academy's people came. Following that, the Lord of the Sea who established the 100 Beast Sutra arrived as well. The atmosphere of the City of Heaven immediately became tense to the extreme. Is Huang here? I heard that the Celestial Clan's Dao brothers are highly principled, capturing him. It truly is good luck. Fire Devil Palace's Lord arrived. This was a scarlet feathered crane that transformed into human form. He was an elder clad in scarlet Dao robes. He carried cold intent. As soon as he arrived, he released the message that he was going to kill Huang. He definitely couldn't be allowed to live. This was also helping the Celestial Clan, speaking on their side. In Origin Sky Secret Realm, Shahal had unleashed a great slaughter on Fire Devil Palace's people, making their sect master furious. They stopped the entrance, yet in the end, they didn't capture him. Today, he made a special trip here, truly boasting shamelessly. Who do you think you are, daring to let words loose here? Suddenly, a female voice sounded from the heavens, directly berating Fire Devil Palace's lord. Who? Fire Devil Palace's lord was furious. You aren't worthy of knowing. Even though the woman lightly scoffed, her voice was extremely beautiful like the sounds of nature. Then, the world calmed down. That woman didn't enter the city. Then, Qin Changxing appeared, arriving in the City of Heaven. Huang cannot be left alive. Heavenly Country's Vice Lord's words were extremely direct. He only had these few words, expressing his sect's decision. Everyone shivered inwardly. Regardless of who it was, when they looked at Shahao, they all felt that he wouldn't make it out of this alive. What if I wish to protect him? Peacock Divine Lord spoke. Divine Lord, why go so far? He is not worth it. Someone spoke. Heavenly Country's Vice Lord laughed. The experts of other inheritances revealed looks of surprise. Fire Devil Palace's Lord even more so shook his head and said, with so many people here, he likely wouldn't be able to live. At this moment, another person paid a visit, entering the City of Heaven. A loud and clear voice sounded that left everyone shaken. I am going to protect him. Everyone revealed looks of shock. This was definitely the voice that sounded from beyond the sky. A few people expressed their discontent, especially Fire Devil Palace's Lord and others. They all stood up. Killing intent pervaded the air. They stared at the entrance of the palace. A snow-white clothed woman appeared. Icy body, jade bones, fine black hair smooth and shining, eyes like black gemstones and full of spirituality. As they wandered about, the beauty she exuded was exceptional. Youngster, you've crossed the line. One of Celestial Clan's heavenly deities spoke coldly. This woman actually dared to speak like this in their palace. Celestial Clan, you all truly do not want face. The woman directly spoke. Her voice was sharp and clear like droplets on a jade plate. Everyone's expression changed. Someone actually dared to speak like this in the City of Heaven. Unileven was shocked. This woman looked similar in age to her, yet she dared to berate the great heavenly deities of the Celestial Clan. You are talking to us. Heavenly deity Chituor's eyes were cold as he looked down. Correct, so what? She didn't seem to mind in the slightest. Yi Qingxian's white clothes were clearer than snow, her figure long, slender, and elegant as she walked over step by step like an immortal among a world of mortals. She stopped in front of Shahao. You actually dare to stir up trouble here. What sect's disciple are you? Someone scoffed, the one speaking a sect master from a certain great sect. Shut up. Yi Qingxian turned around and berated the sect master. Everyone was shocked. This woman actually dared to do this. Youngster, this is not a place for you to be in. Another sect master spoke and exerted pressure. A wing sounded. Scarlet light suddenly appeared in the palace, scattering down like the sunset glow of the horizon. The brilliant redness carried a blinding golden border. It was incredibly terrifying as it hacked towards Yi Qingxian. Someone took action to teach her a lesson, have her understand that this was the sect master's palace, and not a place where a younger generation member could behave atrociously and do whatever they pleased. Suddenly, the scarlet multicolored light stopped moving, as if it was frozen in midair. A red feather that carried golden color appeared, stopping there. A kai sounded. It began to burn, turning into a divine flame about a zhong away from Yi Qingxian, illuminating the entire palace. In the end, with a pu sound, it turned into ashes, scattering downwards. Everyone's expressions became sluggish. This time, they clearly saw that a mysterious ripple stopped everything, preventing that divine feather from getting closer and eventually turning it into ashes. Fire Devil Palace's lord was shocked. This was a red crane feather he fired out, and it possessed shocking divine force, as well as his clan's unique precious technique symbols. In the end, it unexpectedly exploded, turning into ashes. At this moment, everyone's expressions changed. They couldn't help but treat this seriously. Fire Devil Palace's lord was angered. The top of his head shone with scarlet multicolored light, ready to release a ferocious attack at any moment. He turned around to look at the celestial clan's heavenly deities and said, "Dao brothers, what do you all think?" Heavenly deity Chituor and the others frowned. This young lady was extremely troublesome. Right now, they all felt like she was bottomless, unable to see what kind of background she had. Meanwhile, this old crane was definitely lacking in confidence as well, trying to drag them down as well. Meanwhile, even though this was the city of heaven, they still found this difficult to deal with. What do you think? You just attacked me in secret, so of course I have to help you pluck a few feathers as punishment. Yi Qingxian spoke extremely casually, her voice pleasant to listen to, melodious like heavenly music. Her body shone, brilliant like a rising sun, dazzling and resplendent. Her graceful, tall and straight body was covered in a layer of holy radiance. She walked over with quick and agile steps towards the scarlet-feathered divine crane. Everyone was shaken up. She truly dared to take action. She was actually on the initiative. Younger generation, I give you face, yet you don't take it. Now, you even dare take action against this old one. I'm going to capture you. The scarlet-feathered crane naturally wouldn't shrink back. Now that things reached this point, he was definitely going to act powerful to the extreme. Otherwise, what face would he have left to stand in this world? A hong sounded. The entire ancient palace was shaking. His left rib shone, and then an enormous wing flew outwards. Scarlet multicolored light erupted like flames, burning fiercely. Lightning erupted as well. This place was covered in a dazzling multicolored haze. Thunder rumbled, and great Tao symbols appeared densely. It was incomparably dazzling and brilliant, as it immediately surrounded Yi Qingxian. Yi Qingxian's body flowed with mysterious multicolored brilliance. Her body shook, and then even more ripples flew outwards. They all landed on that ancient crane's body. It was impossible to avoid. In that instant, Fire Devil Palace's lord released a loud shout. Half its body was scorched black, and half of its scarlet Tao robe was destroyed, turned into ashes. His entire body flew out, blood flowing out from his mouth. It was clear that the Tao robe was formed from his feathers. Now that a small half of it was destroyed, it truly was equivalent to having his feathers plucked clean by someone. It immediately became difficult for people to calm down in the palace. Celestial clans, true deities, were immediately scared stiff. This was the first time they saw a youth this powerful. Who is this person? Could she be the core descendant of some emperor clan? Just a young lady, yet she is actually able to injure Fire Devil Palace's lord. Outrageous. Is she going to oppose my celestial clan too? This result left everyone greatly shaken. Forget about them, even those sect masters narrowed their eyes. They revealed looks of shock, finding it difficult to calm down. Fire Devil Palace was not the most powerful great sect, but it wasn't a pushover sect either. Their palace lord reached heavenly deity level, yet in the end, he was defeated just like that, suffering such a huge loss. At this moment, heavenly deity Chituor couldn't sit still anymore. This was just a young lady, yet she immediately displayed power, moreover not being any weaker than them. This was truly a shocking thing. Are you convinced now? Yi Qingxian looked towards Fire Devil Palace's lord and asked like this. Her voice carried a bit of magnetism, a unique charm. It was beautiful and moving. However, right now, no one dared to treat her like a weak beautiful young lady anymore. They all looked at her like she was an extraordinary and holy expert that was incomparably dazzling. What could Fire Devil Palace's lord say? His face was scarlet red. He coughed out a mouthful of blood. He couldn't even stand straight here, convinced, completely convinced. Older sis, you are a true immortal. Not far out, Kong Chioji shouted loudly in praise. If not for Peacock Divine Lord giving him a look, he most likely would have jolted his buttocks over. Yi Qingxian gave him a look, and with a rather discontent tone, said, "Am I that old? I'm younger than you." When these words were spoken, it triggered another great commotion. What kind of freak was this? Everyone believed that she definitely had some great secret on her, or else no one should have this type of strength at her age. Little friend is outstanding and rarely seen since the ancient times. However, you should forgive those that should be forgiven. In the palace, a heavenly deity from the celestial clan spoke to stop her. After all, Fire Devil Palace Lord had helped them before, speaking on their behalf, and that was why this even happened. If they ignored this, then others would look down upon them. Your celestial clan really is despicable. Yi Qingxian turned around and looked at the great heavenly deities, not showing any bit of fear, and directly spoke rudely. The heavenly deities' eyes became cold. This was the celestial clan's palace, yet she didn't give them any face. Little friend, you've crossed the line. Chi Tuo spoke. Everyone became even more shocked. What kind of background does she have? Meanwhile, Heavenly Country's Vice Lord, Qin Changxing, Demonic Sunflower Garden's ancient ancestor, Underworld Lord, Heaven Mending Palace, and other sect masters revealed looks of shock. They extended their wills to investigate her. At this moment, Yi Qingxian's white clothes suffused with large amounts of multicolored light. Mysterious ripples spread outwards, unexpectedly forming a protective barrier that isolated her from the outside world. Not simple. The great sect masters were inwardly shaken. This woman had a great secret on her. Celestial clan, give me an explanation. I want a sincere explanation, or else today's matter will not end. Yi Qingxian said. You want an explanation from us? Heavenly deity Chi Tuo's face fell. He sat on top, overlooking the white-clothed woman. Killing intent seeped out. Regardless, this was the city of heaven, so they should be rushed to do anything. No matter what the celestial clan wished to do, it was not something outsiders could interfere or meddle with. The other heavenly deities' eyes were cold. As heavenly deities, they rarely let their emotions affect them. However, this time, they became impatient. They all released symbol light, prepared to take action. You cannot deal with them alone. Just hurry and leave, Shahao transmitted mentally. He did not believe that Yi Qingxian truly could face the entire city of heaven. Relax, you are my little bro, so I'll naturally bring you out, Yi Qingxian said with a smile, not seeming worried at all. Shahao was shocked. She was going to take him as her little bro. Fairy, how about accepting an older bro? Kong Chioji wasn't embarrassed or impatient, licking his lips as he moved forward. Get lost. Even though Yi Qingxian's style was unmatched, beautiful and pure to an almost dreamlike degree, at crucial moments, she didn't hesitate in the slightest. These words alone immediately made Second Baldy feel suffocated. Enough. Chi Tuo spoke. She actually acted as if no one else was here, chatting with others and completely ignoring the heavenly deities. Their eyes immediately became cold. Are you ready to give me your explanation? Yi Qingxian turned around and asked. This is the celestial clan and not your sect. Forget about capturing Huang. Even if we wanted to kill him, it is still none of your business. Chi Tuo shouted and swept his eyes towards Shahao. The benefactor of the celestial clan ended up becoming a maniac that harbors evil intent. You all actually dare to say this out loud, moreover killing just because you all wish to, it truly is overbearing. Yi Qingxian sneered. Her fine black hair flew about. Her slender and elegant figure released sparkling radiance. Capture. He released a light scoff, using a heavenly deity magical artifact. The purple-skinned gourd enlarged. Symbols covered the mouth of the gourd, turning into a purple vortex that sucked in everything. Mists pervaded the air as it tried to capture Yi Qingxian. Yi Qingxian's body shone. She raised her hand and pointed outwards. It was unexpectedly still a ripple, and as it undulated outwards, it released a great bell sound, striking that purple-skinned gourd. Everyone became shocked. This girl was too formidable. How could she so easily seize a heavenly deity magical artifact at such a young age? She has a divine treasure inside of her. Qin Changxing spoke. It might very well be chaotic magical artifact. Demonic Sunflower Garden's ancient ancestor said. His entire body was surrounded by a great black sun, submerged by the dark demonic flames. He was incomparably terrifying. When this sentence sounded, everyone immediately became shocked. A chaotic magical artifact was definitely astonishing. All of the sect masters' eyes went red, because it was just too rare. Girl, do you believe that just because you have a magical artifact, you can do whatever you wish in the city of heaven, behaving atrociously in my clan? The other heavenly deities stood up. They all shouted. Yi Qingxian didn't reply and instead sneered, releasing laughter that sounded like silver bells. Her eyes released astonishing radiance, appearing incomparably self-confident. Lock him away. A heavenly deity ordered, having someone bring Shahao bring down. I want to see who dares. Yi Qingxian stopped them right there. Girl, do not be overconfident in your magical artifact being astonishing and think that you can do what you wish because of that. My celestial clan's matters are not for you to meddle in, heavenly deity Qituo said. Today, I am going to get involved. Yi Qingxian said. Since you all don't want to give me an explanation, then I will get it my own way. She looked at Shahao and looked at the blood covering him. Who did this? A prison head. Kong Qiuji said, is that so? Yi Qingxian stood tall. From her large black gemstone-like eyes, 2 golden beams of light made of symbols appeared, staring at Shahao, Martial Dao Heavenly Eye. At this moment, forget about the true deities, even the heavenly deities, those terrifying sect masters were shocked. They all revealed looks of shock. At this moment, forget about the other deities, just the great sect masters shivered inwardly. It was because they sensed true immortal Dao energy that flowed in the void. What is this? The great heavenly deities cried out in alarm. It was because their magical artifacts all disappeared with no hopes of returning once they sunk into the void, unable to budge an inch. They were imprisoned in place. In the void, brilliant colors swirled about like jade. A divine projection appeared, a divine diagram. That was a person, one that was hard to see clearly. It was formed from hazy light, sitting there and releasing immortal scriptures that locked down all of the heavenly deity magical artifacts. It was a supreme treasure after all. A sect master said softly, eyes blazing. This type of divine object was too rare, so even his heart was tempted. True immortal sister, I like your methods. Kong Qiuji flattered from the side. In the palace, many celestials were furious. This was their domain, yet this little girl forced back several heavenly deities and crippled a true deity. It was inconceivable. Suddenly, a sect master took action to suppress Yi Qingxian. However, Yi Qingxian was still without fear. Her body shone, and the divine projection in the void became a bit clearer. It engraved itself there, swirling with symbol light. That was a person, sitting there unmoving. However, it was releasing immortal Dao aura that terrified one down to their soul. That sect master was greatly shaken. That attack was useless, completely neutralized. Everyone sucked in a cold breath of air. What was this? All of you should not act rashly. Heaven-mending sect master spoke. Is this the legendary immortal Dao mark? When Underworld Lord's eyes opened and closed, dark light erupted. Underworld mist surrounded his entire body. Yi Qingxian smiled, but she didn't say anything else. Let me give it a try. Let's see if that really is the immortal Dao divine projection. Heavenly Country's Vice Lord held a blood sword in his hands. He suddenly erupted with power. At this moment, the city of heaven trembled, as if an endless hell was unleashed. It was unknown just how many people fell weak onto the ground. Everyone shivered inwardly, finding it difficult to endure this killing intent. Even a few sect masters felt restraining fear. They then rushed backwards in retreat. No one was willing to stay that close to the head of an assassin organization. He disappeared. There was only mountains of corpses and sea of blood. Endless terrifying killing intent surged, and then a heaven-seeking bloody radiance erupted. After this, everyone became quiet. Even the great sect masters were stunned. The 2 divine projections are both in the depths of the boundless uninhabited region. People in the past had seen them before. Heaven-mending sect's master spoke. Yi Qingxian's palm shone. A simple and unadorned shield appeared, putting that divine projection away. An indistinct figure sat on that shield, releasing immortal Dao aura. Was this that ancient magical artifact? Everyone stared at it. They called it a shield, but it was better to call it a grinded piece of a bell. I said I was going to bring him away, and that I wanted an explanation. Is your celestial clan going to agree to my demands or not? Yi Qingxian spoke. The celestial clan became silent. This young lady came from the depths of the uninhabited area. That place was too mysterious. She was not good to provoke. Old celestial, I came. Are you not even going to meet me? Yi Qingxian spoke. A sigh sounded. The old celestial appeared and said, you can bring that person away. However, Yi Qingxian didn't leave, continuing to stand there. Do you have some other matters? The immortal Tao divine projection really deserves its reputation. The old celestial said. He harmonized with heaven and earth, as if he embodied the Tao, the archaic contract of alliance. Do you still remember it? Yi Qingxian spoke. I remember. The old celestial nodded. Many people were confused. Only the most ancient sect masters gasped. They were all extremely shocked as they stared at Yi Qingxian. In the past, the 6 great celestials entered the boundless uninhabited region, but in the end, only a single old celestial returned alive. Could it be a contract formed from that time? 6 great celestials known as an undying legend. If in the end, I was the only one that returned alive, so how could I forget? The old celestial said to himself with a downcast voice. Everyone shivered. The so-called archaic contract of alliance was formed during that period after all. It should have something to do with the 6 great celestials, their former glory. Not long ago, someone has sent you a letter, but there was no reply, so I came here myself to pay you a visit, Yi Qingxian said. Her snow-white clothes fluttered about, pure like an immortal. At that time, I had not yet revived and was about to pass away in meditation, the old celestial replied. Are you not willing to go? Yi Qingxian asked. I am willing. Unexpectedly, the old celestial's reply was sonorous and ear-splitting like the striking of metal. It was extremely straightforward and resolute. Ancient ancestor, what exactly is going on? Heavenly deity Qi Tuo carefully asked. He was full of confusion inwardly and wanted to understand what was happening. If there is a day when you can make my celestial clan into an emperor clan of the 3,000 provinces again, then you'll have the qualifications to know. The old celestial said. His eyes were profound and unfathomable as he looked into the horizon, as if it could penetrate into the archaic to a certain place. What? Everyone gasped, their backs breaking out into cold sweat. What kind of oath was this? It was too terrifying and strange. At the same time, when they looked at Shahao, they also felt shocked. This youth was most likely really going to be saved. Everyone had to reconsider if they still wanted to kill him. The archaic contract of alliance is dignified and sacred. Since it has long been set, I believe you will not refuse. All right, this matter is already decided. Let's talk about him now. He was humiliated by your celestial clan for no reason, so I need an explanation no matter what. Yi Qingxian spoke, pointing towards Shahao. What else is there to say? Just bring him away. Immortal Tao divine projection is not truly unfathomable. It is not your power, so it is impossible for you to be undefeated. The old celestial said, things are already at this point. No matter what, your clan has to offer a bit of compensation, no? Yi Qingxiang spoke. Her large eyes swirled with multicolored light, and shone brilliantly as she said, I heard your clan has immortal melody. How about you lend it to me for a few years? Impossible. The old celestial directly refused. It is because I had previously met someone who told me to lend a hand or two. Also, he can wear that tattered armor, so he is worth me taking action for, Yi Qingxian replied. Let him leave. He was captured by my celestial clan. The old celestial spoke, promptly standing up, not letting this problem continue any further. When the few most powerful sect masters heard this, they all became silent, not opposing him. It was because this was the city of heaven. Forget about the old celestial being powerful and troublesome, there was still the great chaotic formation the 6 great celestial laid down. It was extremely terrifying. Immediately prepare a great transport formation, the type that can cross provinces, Yi Qingxian said, deciding to immediately send Shahao out. Didn't you want to study immortal melody? Heavenly deity Qi Tuo said, his eyes flickering with a strange light. The longer they stayed, the more opportunities there would be, he already finished comprehending it. So what is left? It'll be enough, if I just comprehend for him. Yi Qingxian giggled as she spoke. City of Heaven's center. A massive transport formation that was ancient and existed since the distant past rested here. Shahao stood in front of the altar, turning around his body. When he looked at Yi Qingxian, his expression was a bit complicated. Yi Qingxian smiled. Her snow clothes were brighter than snow, her style unmatched. It was precisely her arrival that changed Shahao's fate, saving him. Shahao opened his mouth to speak words of gratitude. If you want to thank me, just become my battle servant, how about it? Yi Qingxian took the initiative to speak. She was all smiles, and her black crystal-like eyes flickered with brilliant radiance. All of Shahao's words of thanks were immediately swallowed back down, and dark lines appeared on his forehead. What, you aren't willing to be my little bro? Yi Qingxian giggled. Are you not leaving? Shahao asked Yi Qingxian, feeling worried for her. After all, those sect lords were not of the kind sort. If they truly wished to make things difficult, then anything could happen. I want to comprehend immortal melody and hide from a terrifying existence inside of here, Yi Qingxian said. You have the chaotic supreme treasure. So what kind of enemies do you need to hide from? Shahao was shocked. Back then, when he had the little pagoda with him, he could travel unhindered through the world, going wherever he pleased. Immortal Tao divine projection really isn't my own power. Yi Qingxian pointed towards the outside world and said, there is a fella there that has been chasing after me this entire time, wishing to use my ancient shield to repair his rotten bell. Shahao was shocked. He thought of the immortal bell that had previously appeared in the lower realm. It had appeared in the City of Heaven not long ago. Your ancient shield, is it related to that bell? He asked. Mine is the bell's soul, while his is the bell's corpse. Yi Qingxian felt that it was beneath her dignity, and began to spout nonsense again, saying how she was going to beat the shit out of that person. You won't be in danger, right? Shahao asked. It's really not that bad. With the old celestial here, as well as the war emperor outside, it's enough. Actually, I just don't really want to have to run and lose face. Otherwise, who can do anything to me? Yi Qingxian said. Is it really impossible for you to not shoot your mouth? Shahao couldn't handle her. At this time, the great formation shone, quickly forming a resplendent passageway, unknown where it leads to, dozens of provinces out, purple profound province. The old celestial secretly informed Yi Qingxian, okay. She nodded, expressing her agreement. The void passageway was closed. The light mists disappeared. Shahao listened to Yi Qingxian's suggestion, so he immediately used the realm-shattering symbol, activating it. Dense mists of radiance pervaded the air. This divine symbol released resplendent light, and then it fiercely tore through the passageway, changing the direction. Meanwhile, Shahao was shaken up inwardly. He saw a large black hand appear behind him, demonic sunflower garden's lord. Apart from this, a blood-colored radiance erupted. Heavenly Country's vice lord suddenly appeared in the passageway to capture him. In the rear, a group of people had gloomy expressions. The realm-shattering symbol was extremely complex, enough to break through a great thousand worlds, impossible to stop. There was no way to seize its coordinates either. Shahao, thus, departed. This video will end here. Thank you for watching.